Hello, everyone, and thanks for listening. I have to stress that in every video because I know some people listen, some people don't, some people catch whatever is whatever. But anyway, this video here, I didn't do a video about the initial incident, I don't believe. But though for those of you that are familiar with this, there is a company called H&M, and it's a clothing store company where I would assume that plenty of Black or African American people have frequented and been big, heavy consumers of the clothing. And there have been, famous Black celebrities, rappers, and artists that were also involved in this company. So apparently there was an incident. For those of you who don't know, I'm sure some do. There was an ad that was very much offensive, and there was a little boy that was placed in the ad. And here you can see he had a hoodie on, and the ad was extremely offensive. And so I will read this article here so it goes in line with the topic. H&M loses another celebrity partner in wake of offensive ad. And so this was in USA Today. And so it goes on to read that rapper G-Eazy has announced that he's ending his relationship with the Swedish retailer H&M over an ad that showed a Black child model wearing a hoodie that said "the coolest monkey in the jungle" across the front. So he had on a green hoodie. It showed that slogan, which was really offensive, and has been very offensive to African American or people of color. So the disturbing image led the Oakland, California rapper, whose real name is Gerald Gillum, to announce in a tweet that our partnership needs to end. And I believe he's not the only one that has ended their ties with this company. Earlier this week, singer The Weeknd, whose real name is Abel Tesfaye, did the same. So like I said, there were other artists, other famous people, whoever or whomever was attached to this company has ended their ties with them because of the offensive remark on the child's shirt. So the Canadian had partnered with the Swedish-based company for its 2017 Spring Icon collection and modeled some of its apparel. So on Monday, The Weeknd tweeted that he was shocked and embarrassed by the ad with the child, and he was deeply offended, and he said he won't be working with them and working with at H&M anymore. So along with the photo of the ad, by 9:15 a.m. Tuesday, it had been retweeted close to 103,000 times. Okay. So I'm reading this. Let me reread that again. So I guess the ad had been retweeted several times, so I'm paraphrasing, and it was liked almost 230,000 times, but so H&M was accused of on the social media of being racist after using the photo online to sell a hoodie in the UK. Other celebrities who have denounced the ad include Cleveland Cavaliers star LeBron James and rapper Sean Puffy Combs. So H&M removed the image, and the sweetheart, I said sweetheart, the sweatshirt is no longer for sale anywhere. So it's not even for sale anywhere. I'm sure somewhere it's on sale and somebody's wearing it to mock the situation, I'm sure. On Wednesday, the retailer issued lengthy. So we agree with all the criticism that generated. We have got this wrong, and we agree that. And even if unintentional, passive, or casual racism needs to be eradicated wherever it exists, we will now be doing everything we possibly can to prevent this from happening again in the future. So, contributing the AP. Okay, so I was looking at that. Okay, so I'm looking at more and more. So I'm reading as I go along. So bear with me on this because I'm like, this is real time reading. So it's not. And so anyway, I found this intriguing. So the reason why I brought up this article in particular, celebrity partner in wake of offensive ad. There's more to the story here than meets the eye. And so where I'm taking this is African Americans do have power. Or Black people or people of color, we do have a lot of power. Our power is in our wallet. We are huge consumers. Okay, so we may not have a lot of businesses. We may not have a lot of representation in terms of, companies and whatnot, or so that we think there probably are businesses and are companies out there, but they're not as highly publicized. But we do have a lot of power when it comes to consumership. And so this is where I'm taking this. It's like history, people. We are getting an idea here, not even just an idea, where our power leads us. And it's in the wallet. And when you want to make your voice heard, if you're not heard verbally, then you can be heard economically. And so we're always hurt and hit hardest economically as a people. But are turned on these organizations that we frequent, that we purchase our products, that we buy our clothing, we purchase certain items that seem to be, running these businesses, keeping them afloat. When we see things like this is the response that we always should give. Do not patronize these type of companies. Because when you patronize companies like this, what you're saying to them, it's okay to insult people of color. It's okay to call them monkeys. It's okay to say offensive things and put it on shirts and hats. It's okay to use these people as consumers, but not hire them. Open up shop in communities, open up businesses in communities that are primarily, you have more of the consumers, or the greater part or number of the consumers are minority or African American consumers, but you won't hire them. You don't really cater to them except but through the wallet. And so this made a huge impact. And if you read other articles now, this is just but one article. There was another YouTuber, another woman who did an article who actually quoted some of the numbers that there was a lot of money that these companies had lost just from this article that they put out, this ad of this child. And behind putting out this ad of this child, people stopped buying within a matter of weeks, within a matter of less than 2 to 3 months. These stores have been now closing down. They've had to close some of their stores because people stopped going there because of this ad. This one ad made a powerful impact on us, people of color. So what does that tell you, folks? There it is. You answered. We're always looking and searching for where is it that we have power to do something about these things. Here it is. Get them in the pocket. Everything seems to be about money, about greed, about power. And that's what they feed off of. And if you want to make and you want to make yourself heard, the way to do it is stop patronizing these, purchasing their goods. Stop buying them. Go to some other owner or operator that is African American that serves the country. He may be small or he may not be as small. He may be a medium. He may be up and coming. But start putting your money in those organizations and frequent those places more. So what? There's something over there that you like. But hey, if they're not respecting you as a person, if they don't look at you as a human being, if they can take your children or children that look like you and mock them and put them in ads and make fun of them, then stop buying things from these people. And I do know the whole story behind the H&M and that the mother, she's and that she was supporting her son and that she didn't have a problem with him being in the article, that model wearing the shirt. But I want to say this, that now, like I've said, and I said in many of my videos, that all Black people do not have the same experience. They don't have the same cultures. They don't come from the same places. And so whatever this woman's experience was might have been altogether different than what people experience here in the States. Or maybe she was here in the States. Maybe she doesn't have a problem with it. Maybe she looks at it as a money venture. Everybody's parenting skills or the way they look at life might be totally different than the next individual. Everybody is not a replica of one another in the exact ways. But in my opinion, I wouldn't have had my baby in an article, garb on with this kind of hoodie on. I would not have my baby in this. That's me. I find it highly offensive, but I'm coming from a different. Again, I'm coming from a different background than that mother, so I understand that. I can't stress that enough, that we do come from different places. We have different ways of thinking, so that's a perfect example right there, and I know a lot of people here are buying it. And the thing that's crazy is I've seen a lot of the H&M stores here in California, in malls. Some stores are open and some stores aren't. They don't have as much business now. So apparently they were getting a lot of business from people of color that even weren't in the UK. So if it affected their business to the extent to where they had to close down some stores behind this, then there's your answer, people. Your answer is in the wallets. It's about the dollar sign. Isn't that the way this has always been going? That's the way it's always been. That's what it's always. Situation that has to do with politics points to money. And it has something to do with either you don't have it or you have it. And so if you're very persistent about these things that are going on in the world today, and you realize and you put two and two together to say, you know what? They always want me to buy stuff from them. They don't want us to work there. And those of you who know what I'm talking about, who live in Los Angeles, who live in areas, and it's not even in places where they want you to buy, but they won't hire you. They don't like you. They just want you to hurry up and buy stuff and get out. done like that. Some people haven't been done like that because they are in that category where they're looked at as a minority or whatever. They don't fit in that criterion, or maybe they come from a whole nother background and they don't understand what's going on, or just maybe just not in tune with what's going on, whatever. But those that are, we know, the ones that know that they've been treated this way, that all you are is a wallet, and all people see is green, and then respect is out the window. It's just about come in my store, buy my products, patronize. We'll appease you. We know your culture, music you like. We know what kind of stuff you like to wear in your hair. We know what you like to eat. It's deep. We know what you like to wear, but we're not going to hire you. We don't like you. We don't want you moving in our neighborhood. So we live a little further out, on the outskirts, just enough to get to the urban. You're our consumers, and we'll be there, and we're not going anywhere. And give you that attitude. They give you the business. And the ones that are like that. There's some people that are very nice individuals. Maybe they're not really all that. And they're a business. They're a struggling business, and there is no malice intent involved. But we that live in these areas of individuals who they open up these businesses and they don't really like you, and they open it up in the neighborhoods of people that they are not really friends of. The only thing they're friends of is what's in your wallet. And that's the way they view it. And if you don't hurry up and buy what they want you to buy, they don't like you. And they want you to hurry up and get out of there. And all the pictures on the wall of people stealing look like you, or look like people like you. And it's crazy. That was going on. And I think that still goes on in some places. Hate towards people of color. Thieves seem to be black folks on these, when they're looking for somebody. Now it's starting to change a little bit. I'm starting to see a little shift, but not very much. Still, let's see if this one has some money coming in here. Let's see if she's got some money. And she doesn't have any money. She takes too long figuring it out. We want to try to figure it out. Something like that. That's what you get, that feeling like it's time to go. If you can't make a decision and you're not going to spend money here, then get out of here. You feel it from certain individuals of these little businesses. And so we get that, in some areas, and that's more welcoming. And I guess maybe they've read about the background of what has happened, especially with the 92 riots here in Los Angeles. And so some of them are afraid because their business has been pretty much invested here. And so they don't want to mess up. So they want to get the customers coming in and out. And so the company like this, H&M, is like a chain. It's bigger. It's not no mom and pop little something in the corner in the cut. So for them to lose a lot of money like this is pretty big. And so look for the numbers. Actually, if you look, correct me if I'm wrong, but Davey, behind that boy mom in that shirt, there's a lot. That anytime that one ad made an impact on people like that, and everybody acted accordingly in unison. Okay, you're putting ads like that of kids that look like us and calling them in the monkey is. Now the monkey is in my wallet, and and you've been monkeying around with my money, so I'm not giving you my money. You're not getting my money. And we'll see who really is the monkey. It isn't us. It's them. because they're playing fine. Your biggest consumers are the people that you put in this ad. You don't, you don't buy you. And so that let that be a lesson to them. So I'm glad that people decide to buy anything from this company. I think I might have went in there maybe once or twice. I can count on my one hand how many times I've ever went in there. And I don't remember even recall buying anything from them. In there. I didn't really see anything I liked. So, and I've got, I have, in my family, there are young men in my family. They'll have suits and things like that. But I think that I was intrigued about. So, we might have went to another store. As a matter of fact, for that matter of fact, I thought this was pretty interesting. The other young lady who was talking about how they had lost a lot of money just from this boy modeling this shirt. It really rubs the wrong way, and it should have. So I felt good about knowing that people seeing that this is wrong. It doesn't matter what this mama is saying. This is wrong. This is offensive. What if and somebody put something bad about the president in there, Trump, and people who were Trump supporters wouldn't want to buy? They would shut the whole company down. You don't think they will? They will. They will accordingly in unison. Well, we're going to shut that company down because they're defaming our president. They're not making America great again. You don't think that it would, if the test was something else, and you had a company, let's say, it was African owned, or if it was a black, and they own a company, and it was frequented by, of all walks of life, and then somebody happened to see something offensive, president, or it was about something about white people that was offensive, some kind of racial epithet or slur. You don't think they wouldn't have acted on that? Some hurls of con and get that thing closed off? Yeah, it would. And so I'm thinking that this was definitely on the mark, and there's your answer. And so with this video coming to conclusion, I believe that the way situations is just accordingly so. The way they damn thing, by them losing money and losing, is telling them something. Hey, okay, maybe these people will pick out a bunch of people who, the people who you were, who representing you happen to be of color. And so now they pulled themselves away from you. This is what we do, people. So that should itself, it speaks volumes. And I am thankful that people at least are starting to wake up to these situations, because it just doesn't seem like it's going to stop there. I know this is off this topic, but that we recently had when the Today Show had showed Nefertiti, and the Nefertiti statue appeared to be someone of Caucasian, which we know that's not true. I feel like it was a defacing of who the true Nefertiti was, because she definitely wasn't white. And so that's a whole nother topic, and I'm not going to really do a video on that, because it's enough of that right there. As soon as people were enthralled with anger, so I knew that was going to good to plenty of folks, especially those now that are really actually reading and they're starting to become more intuitive about this stuff. And even if you didn't really read a lot about history, anybody who come the original people of Egypt, it's in Africa. They were black. They're not white people. And then I saw a video, this one guy, the video, and he just thoroughly broke the whole thing down and explained crazy that show was for putting it out there like that. I just shook my head when I saw it. I was thinking to myself, I don't even really respond to them, because it's not nothing that they haven't done before. I just look at it as like, oh, other stupidity they come up with. I guess they think we don't read. A lot of Black people are reading, and they're starting to become aware of the games that are going on out there and the lies that are being strewn across social media, and not even just social media, but mainstream media, actually, which is even bigger. That who's in control of things, who's saying stuff out there, all these lies, making it so that people, basically kids, don't even know their history. They really are not being taught the right things in school. And so I know this has gone off onto something else, but I think it's just sad. It's just like people are trying to bring back the old hate into a new generation. But anyway, yeah, H&M, you lost money, and you're going to keep losing money if you keep putting models like this in your ads. And if you keep doing it, you might lose more than just money. You might lose your whole business, might cave in. But anyway, thanks for listening.